All right, welcome back to Quick Hits Presents Get the Pass. Now, I know you've got a familiar face here. I want to say shout out to Carson Williams for a great interview where we talked basketball, and more basketball. Very good interview. I appreciate his time. Now, once again, I know you see a familiar face here. If you saw the first Get the Pass, you will know this man. But I had to bring him back because the first interview I was a little rocky. I was a little worried about technical difficulties. I was a little worried about how to conduct the interview. But this time around, this interview is going to be better than the first one. Nothing he did wrong. It was all me. So I'll take that all day long. So that being said, he is the host of the upcoming cooking show that we will be having on Boom Broadcasting called Schneider's Cafe. Unfortunately, he's moving. I can't get close while he's cooking. And that's the sad part. But that's all right. Because I know he's going to do well. So everybody, nice one. Welcome to Aaron Schneider. So, Aaron, how you doing, man?
I'm doing fantastic. I'm super happy to be on again.
All right. That's good. See, now, the first interview that Aaron and I had, he talked about his podcast. And then we talked a little football. But I'm catching sight of the calendar right now. We're in the soon-to-be second full week in July. And you know what that means. We got the All-Star game in Major League Baseball coming up. We got the Home Run Derby. We've got also some remarks about halfway through the Major League Baseball season, 81 games in. We're 81 games in. We're going to be talking about baseball this time around. So I'm looking forward to this. So, Aaron, are you ready?
Yes, sir. Let's do it.
All right. So, first question that I have here is, who is your surprise squad so far this year?
I might be a little biased in this because I'm a big Kansas City Royals fan, but I got to say the Royals, they had 106 losses last year, second worst in the league, only to the Oakland Athletics. And now they're sitting half a game out of the wild card spot, half a game behind the Red Sox, who they have a 3-game series against starting tomorrow.
Man, I tell you, you're right, because 106 losses is not good. And we all know the Oakland Athletics, I don't know what it is with them, man. I mean, they remind me a lot of their counterpart, the Los Angeles Clippers. The Clippers get a good squad. They do well, they build, but they just can't get over the hump with the problems that the Clippers are having in free agency right now in basketball. It's kind of tough, but now the Athletics, they just can't win. It's just basically what it seems like. And good and well, they may be on the table to be sold very, very soon. So,
Issues like that have to start at the top with franchises that are so continuously terrible. Like it's not all on the players at that point. It's on ownership. It's on management, just not making the right moves, not putting the right people in charge.
Absolutely, I agree with that, because the players, of course, the players going out there and playing, of course,
It's
but
like they
in
have
the
to be better.
case of yes, oh, you're right. Oh, I agree. But with the case of the Athletics, now, on the other hand, when are you going to start chalking it up to management, coaching, and then building from the front office? Where are you going to factor that in? It has to be with the way that they've not been playing well and they've not been producing well. So when do you chunk it up to that? So as you go on here, we're going to be seeing, but Kansas City, of course, we'll be getting a little bit of the Royals. I appease the homers on Get the Pass, so I'm going to appease the homers on this one. So we will do that. So we'll go to the second question, which is, who is the player that you are most impressed with?
I've got to go Seth Lugo with the Kansas City Royals. I know I sound like a broken record saying Royals for most surprising team, Royals pitcher for the player I'm most impressed with, but he is 34 years old. He has an 11-3 record, which is already the most wins he's ever had in a season in his career, and we're not even halfway through the season yet. He has a 2.21 ERA, which is the best for a qualified starting pitcher in the entire major league. Best in NL. I think best in the AL. The NL leader, I think, has a 2.58. I can't remember who it was, but I was checking stats earlier, and that's what that was.
That's Ranger over in with the Philadelphia Phillies, I believe. I think it's Ranger. I think it is. I might be wrong. I got to look at that again. I don't like to give any love to the Phillies, but it is what it is. But go ahead, continue.
Gosh, but yeah, just for a 34-year-old to have a career season like this on a Royals team that's been abysmal ever since they won the World Series is unexpected. He hasn't been bad in his career. He's been a solid pitcher, but I wasn't expecting an all-star appearance out of him. He just made his first all-star game too at the age of 34. It's phenomenal to see.
Oh, he's exceeding expectations, is what you're saying, right?
By a mile. More than a mile, actually.
I I hear that. With the way that Kansas City has had pitching, Zach Greinke was a Kansas City Royal, and just how incredible of a pitcher that he was. Just the fact that there is pitching in Kansas City that is so great over the years, and then now it's looking like it's starting to resurge. Yeah, I mean, so I would definitely say that you have a lot to cheer about with Kansas City. A little more on them right there as we gonna keep on going right now. We're gonna go to the third question here. And this question is, which of course we've got new all-stars, 30 some new all-stars in the all-star game this year. So this question right here is something I really want to ask you. So the surge of young talent tells you blank about Major League Baseball.
It tells me that there's a good product on the field. And even though baseball is in a decline viewership wise, that this to me indicates that it is not due to a poor product. It's due to the league making it harder for people to watch their favorite teams through blackouts and regional restrictions and all that. And there's some rule changes, pitching clock has helped accelerate the speed of the game a little bit for people whose issue that is. But you said 30 something new all-stars. There's no issue with the on-field product. It is fully on Major League Baseball for the decline in viewership.
I'm glad that you brought that up because that was something that has been said. I've been talking baseball with a few guys that I know. They tell me that, the talent is there and it's self-evident if you've been watching these 80 some games throughout the first half of the season. Usually Major League Baseball starts cooking around the tail end of August and the beginning of September going into these playoff races. That's usually when the Major League Baseball starts cooking. Of course, you've got your playoffs going. And yes, I made a cooking reference because this man has a cooking show. Shameless plug, of course. Schneider's Cafe coming very, very soon. But that's usually when it is. But right now, it's getting entertaining. Like the baseball is entertaining. It's getting faster. It's going very well. I'm liking what I'm seeing, especially with these new faces coming up. You got some older faces in there, but you got some newer guys coming up, and it's refreshing to watch. It just shows that the game is still growing, even if you don't get to watch these guys a lot. They're great players. But now, since we got off the young guys here, I gotta ask this question here because if you have been under a rock this year or you just haven't watched baseball, even if you haven't been watching baseball, if you've been frequenting ESPN, if you've been on the apps, or if you have been just clicking channels, the two names I will be talking about, Aaron Judge and Shohei Ohtani. So I have to ask this question right here. We'll get off the homers. This time around, we'll get off the homers. So if you were to build a squad, who are you building it around? Judge or Ohtani?
I got to go with Ohtani. Tommy John surgery aside, I feel like he's a better hitter than Judge. And he's a couple years younger. Judge is 32. Ohtani's only 30, so he has a little bit of youth on him as well. But I will feel a lot more confident in that pick come next season if we see Shohei Ohtani pitching like he has before, because that is what makes it a harder decision for me, is he loses that two-way player ability that he had. And I think he can come back and still be good, but that's a major elbow surgery that not all pitchers come back from, and they're not the same player after.
Absolutely. I mean, watching Shohei Ohtani, that's a highlight reel, man. I mean, he is a highlight reel baseball player. He is exciting to watch, even though I got a little thing against the Dodgers because, the Freddie Freeman thing. I know you do. I definitely know you do. I definitely know you. I forgot. My bad. But the Freddie Freeman deal, I'm a Braves fan, of course, even though I am wearing the Seattle Mariners jersey. Ken Griffey Jr. is my favorite player of all time. I love Ken Griffey. I watched his career, incredible player. Had to wear it for the sake of us talking baseball. But the Freddie Freeman thing kind of rubbed me the wrong way, where he didn't sign with Atlanta, or he signed with the Dodgers, and then all of a sudden Olsen coming in, he's kicking him out, this, that, and the third. But that kind of got me. And of course, the Dodgers beating us in the playoffs is another thing. Mookie Betts, I still remember that man could probably dunk 4 basketballs at any given time because of that vertical that he's got. He's a bad man. Also in the running for the NL MVP this year, halfway through. Don't know who to give it to. Bryce Harper, him, Ohtani. They don't really know because these 3 guys are playing good baseball. But even though he's a highlight reel player, I've been having a good time watching Aaron Judge try to go for this triple crown. I don't know if he will get it. So I'll pose that one, off the record question right here, not on the year. Who you think is going to be, who you think is easy? You think Judge going to get the triple crown this year? Do you think?
I don't know. I feel like every few years we have a player who's pushing, he's close, and Judge is probably the best shot, but I don't think he will. I think someone's going to catch him on something. I feel like he'll probably end up losing out on home runs. Because it's hard to stay as hot as he is for an entire year. He's at 32 home runs right now, I believe.
Yes, and he leads the majors in home runs. He's second in batting average right now. That's where I think he won't get it. I'm thinking that the batting average is going to be what's going to do it for him. I mean, he's been hitting like nobody's business, of course. He has been doing well. The slugging percentage has been great. His hitting with runners in scoring position has been good. The Yankees have actually started winning a little more towards the tail end of the All-Star break. They're getting the momentum right now. So I like what Aaron Judge brings to the table. Ohtani is a highlight reel. I love watching him play, even though I'm not a Dodgers fan. It's just sometimes you get players that are just 1 in a million and you like to watch, even if it's not for the team you cheer for, or is it even for the team you can't stand? I mean, I will never fully admit that Bryce Harper is a good baseball player, but watching that man play, watching him play, you got to give it up to him. I don't like it because he's a Philadelphia Philly, but you got to give it up to the guy.
Yeah, I get it. There's just special players that, regardless of team rivalries, you just have to sit back and appreciate their greatness while they're still playing. That's something I struggled with Tom Brady. Hated him, hated the Patriots. After a few years, I was really thinking, how am I ever going to see a player like this again? And the answer was no. And so I had to learn to appreciate his greatness a little more. So hopefully you can do that with Bryce Harper too. I'm not comparing him to Tom Brady. Please don't think I am.
No, I understand.
But
I understand. Yeah. I understand. I mean, and you're right. I mean, my feelings have changed about Tom Brady over the years. They've changed. My feelings will not change for Bryce Harper. I hate to say it. I mean, but you're right. You got to give it up for the greatness. When you see these generational players, when you see these, and you've got young people who are being born into the game and watching the game, and then they're like, this guy's great, this guy's great. Then you look and you go, well, I saw a guy named Bryce Harper one time. I saw a guy named Tom Brady one time. And I saw them play. Those guys are great. I mean, I get it. So I understand. I see what you mean. And, maybe one day I might say through my teeth that Bryce Harper is a good baseball player. I may not. Who knows? We'll see. But now I got to go back to the homers. I got to go back because, I'm one of those people that appease the homers. I don't have anything against Kansas City Royals, so I'm good with it. I'll appease you as a homer because I like Kansas City as well. Bo Jackson getting inducted into the Hall of Fame for the Kansas City Royals 2 Sundays ago. I like that a lot. As we're recording this 2 Sundays ago, I like that a lot. I thought he was already in there. I thought he was already in there, to be honest with you, because Bo.
I'm surprised it took this long, honestly.
Yep. I am too, with Bo playing both sports, it busts your body up all to pieces. Hopefully everybody watches the Tecmo Bowl video that is being put up right now on Boom Broadcasting, seeing the Tecmo Bowl video that I put up. Hopefully you do. So hopefully you will enjoy it. But we'll go back. Yes, you should, man. You should. You'll like it. But now, back to baseball and back to the homerism, which is Aaron Schneider and the Kansas City Royals. I'm sorry. Oh, yeah, I can't say Kansas City Chiefs. I'm a 49ers fan too. Oh, it hurts me. It hurts me. But it's cool. But once again, now, are the Royals going to get into that wild card?
I gotta say, I can't not say yes. I haven't had hope in this team in what feels like forever. So I can't not say yes. We're only half a game back from the Red Sox. We got a series against them starting tomorrow, and then another one later in the season. So those two will be huge because it feels like they're our biggest competitor. Them and Houston are the two teams that could be stealing that last spot. Houston's 2.5 games back from Boston right now, which Altuve's playing great. So I'm a little worried about that, but I am confident enough that as long as Kansas City can handle those 2 series against Boston and keep playing, the Cleveland Guardians well like they have, I don't remember what their record is against them on the year, but they've beat them in 2 series for sure. So just keep playing Cleveland well. Fingers crossed, steal the division from them. That would be amazing. But worst case, sneak in that last wild card spot, and we get the first playoff berth since 2015, which I really need to see because all my favorite sports teams are bad. Except Kansas City.
What? I will. Right. I will say this, cheering for a football team that got close to a Super Bowl and a heartbreak. I can't lie and say that I would have felt better had they not been good than to get to the game and lose it. So I can understand why you feel the way you feel, I can understand that. But, getting there and, my Atlanta Braves, I get it. It's just like, man, they're there and, they're getting it. And then all of a sudden just blow it. Just you blow it after the 2022, after winning the World Series, which was so big for me because that flashed me back to when I was small. The last time the Braves won the World Series, I was in 4th grade. So that got me. I was like, man, I watched that team win that World Series. Then I was able to watch that team, and my cousin Will Smith got the clothes. He ain't really my cousin. That's a joke. But with that being said, he still got it. He still did. And now another Will Smith plays for the Dodgers. Really? And it has to be the Dodgers, too, on top. It has to be the Dodgers. Dang. It's just, I don't know. He's a hitter this time, and he's a hitter. So, oh, man. But as we go forward here, Kansas City got the homerism out. So we're going to get to the fun of the All-Star game, which is the home run derby. So there's some new rules in the home run derby, of course. But, of course, it is a home run derby. So the home run derby, are you excited about it? And who you got winning?
I am excited about it. It's always something really cool to watch. I will say I really do not like the changes to the first round. I was a fan of the bracket style. I don't like the all 8 batters hit, and then the top 4 go into a bracket style based on the number of home runs they hit. I think it's kind of stupid. That's just me, though. I'm probably not alone, though.
No, you're not. You're not.
Yeah, as far as winner goes, I feel like we're going to see Pete Alonso get number 3 and tie your favorite player, Ken Griffey Jr., for the most home run derby wins of all time. That's what my gut is.
Man,
you see, I could have said Bobby.
You just had to say it.
Kept going with the homerism.
I'd have been okay with that. I'd have been okay with
he's
that.
A dark horse. I gotta say Pete Alonso, because he always turns up for the home run derby.
And you're right. I mean, and that's the sad part. And I hate this once again. Now the homerism's coming out of me. So here we go. It's not just you. The homerism's coming out of me because I don't want to see Pete Alonso win another one. But good Lord have mercy. But I mean, that man will hit. He will cook.
He's made for the home run derby. I'm making another
reference. He really is. I mean, he really is. And I hate to say that because, you know, my heart, honestly, you know, and I could be a homer as well, too, and say Marcel could win it.
That's not
I like Marcel, and Marcel is probably no, not at all. But I don't know, though, man. A part of me would like to see Gunnar win it. I mean,
he is.
I would
Gunnar
like to
Henderson
see that.
Is the betting favorite actually to win it?
Yes,
at plus 350,
and that's the crazy part right there with him. Right, and you know, Gunnar's got 27 home runs, and the hardest home run he hit was 112.3 miles per hour. And April 29th against the New York Yankees. And I mean, with Camden Yards being not necessarily a homer-friendly park, I mean, 27 home runs, you know, my man is hitting like Brady Anderson back in the day. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he's hitting. And I would like to see a young guy win it. But, you know, I can say, even though I don't want to say it, Pete Alonso is the safe pick. He's the safe guy. But we will see if he does. They ain't winning the NL East. So that's a good thing I can be happy about. But who knows? They might just do that too. Just my luck. But now on this question here, this last question that we got going on. So you already know the All-Star game is going to be the day after the Home Run Derby. Going to be on a Tuesday. So we're going to have a good game. I would say this is going to be a very challenging game, in my opinion, with the new guys, the formats, all that's going on. But you know, the Major League All-Star game is the only All-Star game with implications. That home field advantage. Get some playing. That being said, who you got?
One last little bit of homerism before we end this episode. My gut's leaning AL. I can't not say it. It's going to be really hard though, because it's hard to pick all-star games. There's just so much talent on both sides. I feel like American League might have the hotter bats. Gunnar Henderson's killing it, but man, the NL pitching it's scary. So it's really tricky. My gut's leaning AL. It also feels like the National League is due to win, you know, consecutive All-Star games for the first time since 2010 to 2012 was the last time they won consecutive games. So there's that, but it's hard to predict with that based off that kind of stuff because it's different players than it was 14 years ago. So you never know, but gut is definitely American League.
Absolutely. It's going to be an interesting game. It's going to be very down to the wire. I would not be surprised if this game went extra innings, don't you think?
Oh, yeah, no, that's absolutely realistic.
Yeah, so you got a score in mind? You got a score?
Ooh. Oh, that's tricky. I don't think anyone's scoring more than like 4 or 5 runs. I think there's too much pitching talent for it to be like a crazy score, like a 9-8 or something like that. I think I'll say like 5-3. AL.
Okay. I mean, I think this game will be a testament of pitching, I believe, because although we have such great bats right now, the bats are going crazy, but the pitching has been somewhat the story this year with, with Skeens pitching his tail off right now. Your guys pitching very, very well. The pitching that we have seen with New York, the Yankees as well too. I mean, the Yankees got a runner for Rookie of the Year, and with him pitching as well too, the pitching has been big. Philadelphia, their pitching has been very, very good. I mean, it's just been there's been some pitching out there, and it's been really, really good. But all in all, this baseball has been some great baseball leading up to these 81 games. As this half will come to an end, we will crown a winner for ALNL, and we'll see who's going to get home field advantage in the World Series. So, parting words, last but not least, Aaron, thanks for being the guest. So, give us some parting words, my man.
Thanks for having me on, Shannon. Be sure to keep an eye out. Schneider's Cafe coming second week of August, hopefully. I got some life stuff I got to get sorted out. Got to move all the way up to Ohio, so need to get settled in there, give myself some time, but there'll be some good stuff coming through. And also shout out Kansas City Royals pitching rotation for finally being good. It's amazing to watch. It's been a rough 9 years, and I have not been this excited about baseball in a long time.
I like it right there. So, everybody, that is another installment, the third episode of Get the Pass with my distinguished guest, Aaron Schneider. So, for Aaron Schneider, host of Schneider's Cafe, I'm Shannon Smith, and this is Quick Hits.